This is an original series brought to you by Mickey Made It.
So, you're a philosopher? Yes, you're a philosopher? Yes, you're a
Welcome back to another episode of Whip Media TV. I'm your host, Whip Media Mickey, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do to the channel. Subscribe right now. Join the Vibe Tribe. Okay, today's episode, Griselda Blanco. Once upon a time in the gritty and dangerous underworld of Colombia, there lived a woman who would come to be known as the Black Widow of Medellín, Griselda Blanco. Her story was one of ruthlessness, power, and infamy, a tale that would go down in history as one of the most notorious drug lords of all time. Griselda was born on February 15, 1943, in Cartagena, Colombia. She grew up in a poverty-stricken neighborhood surrounded by crime and violence from an early age. Determined to escape the hardships of her childhood, she turned to a life of crime at a young age. By her teenage years, she had already become involved in a network of petty thieves and street criminals. As she grew older, Griselda realized that there was big money to be made in the drug trade. She began working for a local drug lord, mastering the art of smuggling cocaine and managing drug distribution. Her ruthless nature soon earned her a fearsome reputation in the criminal underworld. Griselda's ambition knew no bounds, and she was not one to be underestimated. In the late 1970s, Griselda moved to the United States, where she set up a massive drug trafficking operation in Miami, Florida. She was instrumental in establishing the infamous Medellín cartel, which would go on to dominate the global cocaine trade. Griselda was known for her cunning tactics, including smuggling cocaine in creatively concealed shipments, such as undergarments and even inside the bodies of deceased individuals. Her reign of terror and wealth accumulation came at a tremendous cost. Griselda was responsible for countless acts of violence and murder, eliminating anyone who stood in her way or posed as a threat to her empire. She was linked to numerous assassination attempts and bombings as she fought for control of the drug trade. Despite her brutal reputation, Griselda Blanco managed to evade capture for years. However, her reckless behavior and escalating violence drew the attention of law enforcement agencies both in the United States and Colombia. In 1985, she was finally arrested in Irvine, California, and subsequently convicted on charges of drug trafficking and murder. Griselda's conviction led to a life sentence in prison, but her story was far from over. Even from behind bars, she continued to exert influence and order hits on rivals and enemies. Her legacy as a ruthless and cunning drug lord continued to cast a dark shadow over the criminal world. In 2012, Griselda Blanco's life came to a shocking end. She was gunned down on the streets of Medellín, Colombia. That seemed eerily fitting for the Black Widow. Her death marked the end of an era and the closing chapter in the tale of one of the most infamous drug lords the world had ever known. Griselda Blanco's story remains a chilling reminder of the brutal and unforgiving world of drug trafficking and organized crime. Her life was a testament to the dark side of ambition, power, and the human capacity for both cruelty and cunning. Until next time, Mickey Made It.